is Sports Sound.
Hello there, I'm Richard Gordon and you're listening to a free football podcast from the BBC. Today's podcast comes from the Sports Sound programme of Sunday the 16th of March. It was Scottish League Cup final day at Celtic Park. Aberdeen and Caley Thistle going head to head, goalless after 120 minutes. It went to the most dramatic of penalty shootout, with the Dons coming out on top. I was joined at the stadium by Chick Young, Billy Dodds, Joan Robertson, Tom English and our match commentator John Barnes.
Now they can win the League Cup for Aberdeen. Adam Rooney, up he comes from the penalty mark, strikes it and scores! Aberdeen win the League Cup 4-2 on penalties. They're off to celebrate with Scott Vernon and Adam Rooney and Nicky Lowe and Barry Robson, the goal scorers from the spot. Inverness, Caledonian Thistle had Billy Mackay's effort saved. Tansey missed. Ross and Doran did score, but in the end it's the Dons who win the penalty shootout. And after almost 2 decades without a trophy, the Dons fan dreams had become reality as Aberdeen win the League Cup for the 6th time in their history. It's their 19th major trophy success, and they've done it on penalties here at Celtic Park. After a goalless 120 minutes, a penalty shootout for the team in red has seen them win 4-2 in penalties against Inverness.
Well, it was incredible, the drama at the end, and you've got to say, for a club that has suffered so much from penalty shootouts over the years, it was absolutely clinical from the Dons in the end. Barry Robson, Nicky Lowe, Scott Vernon and Adam Rooney with the goals that have got 40-odd thousand Aberdeen fans singing and cheering and blowing huge sighs of relief all around this stadium. Nothing but heartbreak for Caley Thistle. It's a horrible, horrible way to lose a cup final. They missed with the first couple of efforts. Billy Mackay, great save by Jamie Langfield. Greg Tansey knocked it over. Ross and Doran did what they could. And all those Caley Thistle players are across to applaud the Caley Thistle fans. And they're getting plenty back because what a run they have had all the way to this final. It wasn't to be for Caley Thistle in this, their first major final. But after 19 long years, it has finally happened. Finally happened for Aberdeen. Let's get down to Chick. He's with Mark Reynolds.
Mark, congratulations. It was a long, dramatic game, was it not?
It was. I mean, it's been a long time coming for Aberdeen, so it's great to win it. Maybe not the man who wanted to win it in, but Jamie makes 2 massive saves. The penalties were great, and I thought we deserved it in the end.
Was it all a bit nervous at times?
I think so. I think you could see both sides feeling a bit nervous, but I thought we kind of looked at the top side kind of throughout the 90 minutes, and I thought we could maybe edge it in extra time, but I had a lot of confidence the boys getting the penalty, so it's great just to win it.
Were you up for taking one?
I think I was in about 8th or 9th, so I was well down the roster.
It's all the pressure off now. Did you feel it coming up all week?
I think so. I think there's been a lot of pressure. I think a lot of people have been waiting as maybe to fall at the last hurdle, so it's great to get that monkey off our back and get a bit of silverware back to Pittodrie.
Enjoy the party, Mark.
Thank you, cheers.
Yeah, there will indeed be a party, no question about that. I think the plan is next Sunday in Aberdeen to have some sort of parade. They'll get that confirmed, but that certainly, they weren't saying anything about that publicly beforehand. Nobody wants to jinx it, but they have to make these plans in advance. As I understand it, it will be next Sunday that there will be some sort of parade in the city. Great afternoon for all these fans, many of whom who have seen defeat after defeat in big semi-finals and cup finals, and of course to sides from lower divisions in the early stages of competitions. So much pain, so much heartbreak, but you see the potential of this club when you look around this stadium and you see over 40,000 Aberdeen fans, and you see the red and white and the flags and the banners being waved, and the pain is finally over for everyone involved with that football club. Those who weren't involved today, those who weren't playing in the suits, they're out there and they're slowly walking round with the players who did take part this afternoon. Of course, there will be another lap of honour when there's silverware to show, but right now the players are simply thanking the fans. Let's hear from the man who's masterminded it all, Derek McInnes.
Derek just getting the title for the formal presentation. Well, congratulations first of all. Will leave a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I think so. You know, I thought we'd get the best of the first half in terms of controlling it and a few opportunities, but in the same token, I thought after second half and extra time was very even. Thought we missed that dynamic of Peter Pollitt, and then Johnny Hayes going off was a real blow to us, because that real pace from the middle of the park going forward has been a big part of our team and make-up this season. So, no, disappointed with that, but we've won a tight, fiercely contested match, and we've shown enough bottle and composure at the penalty kicks. Everybody's doubted whether we can do this, but we've handled every time there's been a question mark hanging over these boys. They've handled it, and no matter how we've won it today, we've won it and deserved to win it.
You did say that to me before the game, Derek. The point was, didn't matter if it was ugly, didn't matter if it was not a thing of beauty, get over the line.
Yeah, I think so. A few tired legs out there. Shea Logan was feeling his groin, and obviously we used our subs. I think Inverness were running empty a wee bit as well. And at the end of the day, it's just about getting over the line, no matter how you do it. And penalty kicks, you know, we said to the boys, it's no about luck. It's no a lottery when it comes down to penalties. You've practiced them all week. You're good at them. You're good enough to beat Alloa to get us into the next round earlier on. And it was just concentrating, and the penalties were such a high standard. And we showed a good mentality to get the job done.
I watched Stuart Millman, your chairman, there as you went into penalty shootouts. I've never seen a man with such a haunted look on his face. I turned round when the winning penalty went in, and the guy's face had just changed totally. This is Aberdeen. You've come out of this. You know, you've been waiting for this big moment. You can move on from here as a club.
It's brilliant for him. You know, he's a lot of people here at the club, the chairman included, have had to endure being at Aberdeen and holding positions here, whether it's players, staff, chairman, directors, supporters. You know, it's not been easy the last wee while, and if you know, these supporters, every one of them deserves that bit of success, but none more so than the chairman, who is our biggest supporter. He's put so much into it. Can't wait to see him shake his hand, because you know, you want to work for good people, and I'm working for some good people here.
And you've signed a deal which will keep you here for some time, eh?
I'm a bit hasty in signing that.
It's the first time I've ever viewed a manager putting his tie on. It's good to know you can tie a winter as well. Well done. You've got a wee night. Are we going
back to Aberdeen tonight?
A wee drink, perhaps?
Back to Aberdeen tonight. The tab's on the chairman.
Well done, Derek. Cheers. Congratulations. Cheers.
I'm sure Stuart Mill will be more than happy to look after that particular bill. The players down there now, it's just that moment, of course, in a cup final. Horrible if you've lost it. You're standing down there on the pitch, you're just waiting. All you want is to get the formality sorted down, to get up there and get your loser's medal. And well, generally they'll stand, they'll applaud the winning team. The silverware, the cup itself, is being brought out, and it's placed up on the little stage, a little platform that's been constructed out in the middle of the pitch here at Celtic Park. And Neil Doncaster getting a nice warm welcome. Ralph Topping is also there, getting a nice warm welcome. As I look across, they're part of the presentation party, the Aberdeen players, some of whom of course have been around the club for a long time. You think of Russell Anderson, just a boy when he started at Pretoria, there for much of his career, had that spell away, has come back, and I've got to say, has been an absolute rock this season. Was very impressive again this afternoon. Let's go to Barry Robson with Chick.
Yeah, Barry's managed to across the far side to get the whole family. Barry, fantastic moment for you.
Well, you know what, we're lucky. We're not lucky. We've worked so hard this season. This city's deserved this. Look at the support we've took here. It's an absolute amazing feeling, and I'm just glad we brought it back with the fans.
Yeah, and a great moment for you to get the kids and enjoy this. And they'll remember this for a long time.
Oh yeah, of course we will. Look at the city, look at the way it is. It was a long time for Aberdeen. But credit to the boys, I thought they were brilliant today.
The Inverness boys just having a wee look around. You sympathy for them?
Yeah, of course I have. What a great club. They punch above their weight every year. Some terrific players, really good people, and I feel sorry for them on the day.
Were you nervous at one point that wasn't going to go your way?
Yeah, well, I don't know. It looked like nobody wanted to lose a cup final rather than go and win it, but I thought we showed a bit of class with the penalties at the end.
Nervous about that, were you?
No, well, I'm always nervous, Chick.
Go and enjoy your night.
Cheers,
well done, man. Cheers. Congratulations.
Never comes across really as a nervous boy, does he, Barry Robson? But my goodness, you never know how it's going to affect you. Here come the Caley Thistle players. Richie Foran, the captain, carrying his young child and leading the Caley Thistle players up onto the little stage there. It's great to have some kind of memento, but it's not the medal, it's not the silverware, of course, that those players were hoping for. The runners-up medal, they're just making their way through. David Raven's just going to cross, and he's applauding and shaking hands with a number of Aberdeen players. Nice touch. He obviously missed out on that at the full-time whistle. Great sportsmanship. There were a few bookings along the way this afternoon, but it certainly wasn't in any way a nasty game. Caley Thistle players, up they go, all getting the silverware, and of course you immediately begin to wonder when you'll get the chance again. I suppose wasn't to be for Caley Thistle this afternoon. They've all been recognised. Aberdeen fans now all standing around this stadium. This is the moment, or almost the moment, they have all waited for. Referee Stephen McLean and his assistants, as is traditional at cup finals, when they got to get the medals, boos all round, irrespective of how they performed during the match itself. But a great occasion, great afternoon for the referee and his assistants. But now the stage will be cleared. The silver trophy is sitting there, and it will be Aberdeen's turn. The cameras are all focused on the platform. The officials are down there just orchestrating things. The Aberdeen players just waiting. One or two turning round. Russell Anderson turns round to the Aberdeen fans and he applauds the Aberdeen fans, a section of them at least, the fans who have made their way down here in such huge numbers to watch this final. And you can hear the announcement in the background. The Aberdeen players make their way up, led by Willow Flood is first up, Niall McGinn just behind him. Barry Robson steps up as well, so too does Nicky Lowe, who came on as a sub, Andrew Considine, who was replaced, Mark Reynolds, Shalem Logan, Adam Rooney, Scott Vernon, Johnny Hayes is, well, he's of course in his civvies because he had to be replaced early on. Nicky Weaver, the sub goalie, Ryan Jacks there, Jamie Langfield, Cammy Smith and Alan Tate, another of the unused substitutes. They're all making their way up, and just holding back right now is Russell Anderson. So the Aberdeen players on the platform, they're round that trophy, they're waiting for the presentation. Only 6 men have ever captained Aberdeen to silverware in the Scottish game in the past. Frank Dunlop way back in 1946. Since then, Jimmy Mitchell, Martin Buchan, Willie Miller, Alec McLeish and Stuart McKimmie. And in the next few seconds, as you can hear the countdown ringing out all around Celtic Park, Russell Anderson will become the next, the latest Aberdeen captain to lift silverware. The Dons have won the Scottish League Cup 2013-2014. Years of pain, all those years of frustration and hurt, all the defeats, the cup upsets and the desperation along the way, they're forgotten in that instant as the red and white ticker tape is blown up into the air and across the little stage, and the players all bounce up and down and they sing the songs and they lift the trophy. They all get their hands in it, they all hold it high to the heavens, and the city celebrates with those men in red down on the pitch here at Celtic Park. It wasn't a classic, it was anything but a classic. Goalless after 120 minutes, but Aberdeen won the Scottish League Cup 4-2 on penalties, and the celebrations will be set to continue long into the night. The Caley Thistle players head across this one last time to say thanks to those who have hung up back to support them. And the Aberdeen fans around the stadium will now be desperate to get a closer view of that silverware, as I'm sure there will be another lap of honour. No idea where Chitty Young is, but he's down there somewhere. Let's get down to him.
Yeah, I'm with John Hughes. John, I mean, I know you've been over there, congratulated the Inverness guys. I said the Aberdeen guys, it must be hard for you to take.
Oh, well, first and foremost, Chick, you know, the Aberdeen support here, 40,000, great, take your hat off. You know, I was trying to wind it up in my comments and all that stuff and put all the pressure on them, but, you know, they have certainly played their part today. And you look at the game, I felt Aberdeen were possibly a better team. Then there was bits that we come into the game, but we were solid, we were resolute. Didn't just quite work for us on the counter-attack, you know, we had to be better, made the right substitutions, and then the way you lose a game like that, I really feel for the boys.
You should have had a penalty kick, shouldn't you?
It's a stone waller, Chick. I'm standing everywhere and say, how do you see it? I'm standing a good bit away and you could see it was a stonewall penalty. Bitterly disappointed. Once again, decisions go against Inverness.
Get to penalty kicks. Did you feel the tide was starting to go your way? Weren't great penalties, really, a couple of them.
Well, in the last evening and gone into extra time, we made substitutions. The plan was make substitutions with Doran's, young Christie to go and try and win the football match and try to take us further up the park. You know, it just wasn't to be. Bitterly disappointed, but not forgetting what a fantastic achievement to get in a National Cup final. I don't know when if it'll ever happen again, but I would like to think we get a taste of it, and who knows, you know, and maybe next year we might be back.
Exactly that. I mean, you've got to remember where this club has come from in such a short time.
Yep, 20 years, I think, you know, and the amalgamation, and we're in there battling, so just need to regroup and get them going again. We've still got plenty to play for in terms of that European spot, but it's picking them up now. I need to pick them up, get around them, pick them up, and hopefully we can get back to winning ways on Wednesday. But when it goes to penalty kicks, you're saying to yourself, you're just hoping, fingers crossed, it's our day, and that's when it all comes down to luck.
Congratulations, John.
Cheers.
Yeah, horrible afternoon for John Hughes. Right, Mr. Young, let's see how fleet of foot you are. Let's see how many of these Aberdeen players you can catch. I know the years are catching up on you, but you've spent many a cup final chasing after players.
He's
got Jamie Langfield already.
In a heartbeat. Jamie, congratulations.
Thanks very much.
It's, you're nervous, you don't do nerves.
No, I was very calm. I'm quite surprised. I've been more nervous other games this season, but I was really calm today. I just pictured this winning the cup all week, and thankfully it's came to it, and I'm absolutely delighted.
You understand now what this club has unleashed when you look around. We're near the centre circle here, and you look around Celtic Park, you go, wow.
Check, it's incredible, especially you come to Parkhead and you see it red, and it just shows you what this club hopefully we've achieved, and hopefully can achieve in the future.
Yeah, you do feel you've uncorked something.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's been hanging over us over a good few years now, and we've definitely hopefully started something now, and as we say, we're just going to really enjoy it tonight and go away and prepare for next Saturday.
And your two wee girls, I think, will remember this forever, will they not?
Amazing, they'll remember this forever. They're so happy and they're chuffed to their daddy, and it was just emotional, but delighted.
Proud of your dad?
Yes.
You proud of your dad?
Yeah.
Well done, enjoy the night.
Very much,
cheers, Jamie.
Brilliant stuff, well done to Jamie Langfield. One save in the shootout right at the start, and who knows how crucial that might just have been. The song that's been adopted, being belted out in the background for Peter Pollitt Baby. Peter wasn't playing this afternoon, of course. Shame for him to miss out, but he's down there and he's part of the celebrations. Two chicks heading across to catch up with one or two more of these Aberdeen players. There you go, just proof that is the song they've adopted. So much relief, so much joy around the place, smiling faces. Let's get on the distance. Is that the captain you've got?
Yeah, Russell Anderson with me, just been posing with the cup. The wind and the rain batting down. Not that you'll care, Russell, not that you'll care.
It's not great for the hair, but
news or mine?
no, I couldn't care less.
It's the old songs, the Northern Lights battering out now. It's
been a long time to see this, an awful long time. It's incredible. I think everyone expecting 25, maybe 30,000, but to get 40 odd is incredible, and it definitely helped us today, definitely.
I just said to Jamie Langfield that you feel that you've uncorked something here, this rebirth of Aberdeen, if you like.
Well, hopefully, it's the first step, and hopefully what will be more successful times for the club. It's been a long time waiting for it, so we just need to kick on now.
It wasn't a beautiful football match, but it was exciting. You couldn't take your eyes off it.
Definitely. I thought it was a good advert. There was maybe not as many chances as what the punters would have liked, to be honest, but both teams went for it, and I think by the end they were just out on their feet.
Just to be worried about Peter Pollitt, who missed out in the day.
I was gutted for him. We found out basically 2 days ago that he was struggling, and he was devastated, quite rightly so, because he's been such a big player for us this season. But hopefully we'll have another opportunity later on in the season to get back for the Scottish Cup final.
Yeah, you understand all this is an Aberdeen thing. This is maybe the finest day of your career.
Oh, without doubt, definitely. We've been waiting a long time for it.
Good man, enjoy it, Russell.
Thanks, Chick. Cheers.
I have to say, for Russell Anderson, more than anyone, delighted for the football club, because he has been such an inspirational captain for Aberdeen, and to get the chance, I know it's been a lifelong ambition of his to lift silverware as the Aberdeen captain, to get the chance this afternoon, or this evening, here at Celtic Park. Absolutely phenomenal. And they're away now in the far corner. They've got the official photographs being taken in behind a banner that reads, or a board that reads, Scottish League Cup winners 2014. All the Aberdeen fans still here, still singing. You can hear the Northern Lights of old Aberdeen belting out in the background, and huge cheers to greet the conclusion of that song. The players eventually break away from the photographs that have been taken in the far corner there. They'll continue to just very slowly making their way around, showing those fans away to the far side. The silverware. It has been one heck of an afternoon here at Celtic Park. More interviews to come, Chick.
Yeah, Tony Docherty, assistant manager Derek with me, with the kids all over him here, enjoying this.
Oh, fantastic, Chick, honestly. It's just a great feeling. The support that we had today, we really owed it to them, and they were with us right up to that last penalty, and it just really goes out to all of them. I think it was a tremendous effort. I thought we were rocked a little bit by the injury to Johnny Hayes, but you know, we got there eventually.
What is it, you know best of all, what is it about Derek McInnes?
He's just a hard working boy. You know, we put a lot into our preparation for games, and every day we come in, we prepare the team the way we think they should be set up to win games, and we've got a great set of players that we're working with at the moment, so they're a joy to work with, and we're all happy.
Aberdeen off and running now?
I hope so. I'd like to think it's the boys got a taste of it, we got a taste of it, and we want more of it.
Enjoy your afternoon, evening now.
Nice, Chick.
Your two daughters, they're up for a party.
Say hello.
Say hello.
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 Go and enjoy your day.
Well, it sounds like they've already been enjoying themselves. Tony Docherty is such a big part of what's happening behind the scenes, I know.
Richard, I have to say, I'm going to try and catch you. I shouldn't be too much difficult with the pain he's in, but Johnny Hayes has been involved in these celebrations, and any collarbone injury which should be treated with caution. I think this might have set him back. He's now got the League Cup. You can hear the Aberdeen fans singing his song. He's got the cup here. I tell you what, I have a word with him when I wanted to. He's just let the boys take a couple of pictures with Johnny with it. Johnny, I'm just saying that is not going to do your injury any good, is it?
No, I think I'll be forgetting about the injury now for a couple of days. Obviously it's a bit sore, but best form of pain relief is winning the cup.
I saw you get up the tunnel when you got the injury, and I always had a tear in your eye. I didn't know if it was the pain or the disappointment of coming out of the game so early.
It was definitely a disappointment. I think anything's painful enough to bring me to tears, but the build up to this game has been immense. Seeing the crowd here, having all my friends, family here, my girlfriend, etc., and having to go off in Jim Leighton-esque style was definitely disappointing, but the main thing today is that we won the game, and as I said, that makes up for it.
I don't know if you've seen pictures of the incident. You came down from some height.
Yeah, it was probably my own fault, maybe a bit enthusiastic trying to win the ball so early on, but it's a cup final, you're hardly not going to be enthusiastic, but it was just one of those unfortunate things. Things could have went a lot worse if we had a loss today, but thankfully we won.
Is the damage serious? You don't know what you've done?
I don't know, to be honest. We haven't had a chance. I didn't really want to go to the hospital. I wanted to watch the game, so we'll see how it is probably tomorrow.
Some chance you go to the hospital tonight as well?
I don't think so. I might have trouble trying to track down some of the staff as well.
Good. John, well done.
Thank you.
Johnny Hayes, horrible, isn't it, to get that injury within the first 30 seconds virtually of the game kicking off. He's had to go off, and he's missed in the final, but he's out there, part of the celebrations. Of course, he gets his winner's medal, and he's had a big part to play throughout the competition. Aberdeen going on to win on penalties. It means that just like they did back in 1985, they've gone right through this competition. They've won it without conceding a single goal along the way. 19 years since Billy Dodds and Duncan Shearer last brought silverware to this club. Niall McGinn's with Chick now.
Yes, indeed, Niall. How was it for you? Just an unbelievable experience. I've been at loads of cup finals for Celtic and stuff, but I was left out of the squad, so to be here and play an occasion like this and finally get a winner's medal, I'm just over the moon.
Feel appreciated at last?
Yeah, definitely. Our fans have been unbelievable, and they definitely drove us through, and the standard of the penalties at the end, and obviously a great save from Jimmy as well, so I'm just buzzing.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't a great game, was it? Did you feel it could have gone anyway at one point?
Yeah, I think so. It wasn't a game of many chances, but I thought if ourselves could have got another one or two chances, we might have won the game. But we're playing Inverness, so we were hard to break down. But on the day, I thought we edged it.
Yeah, it was one of these games now when I think people were scared about making a mistake.
Yeah, I think so. It's cup finals, and I think it's important to get through the first 10-15 minutes. But I thought we controlled the ball very well at times, and we created opportunities. But end of the day, we won the game, so we're champions.
That lap of honour, you're absolutely right. No, Aberdeen, there's still thousands of Aberdeen fans here. It's astonishing, actually.
It's been unbelievable. The fans have been brilliant all season. It's good to see. So it's not over yet. We've another cup to go for, so hopefully we're back again for another big occasion.
So what are you doing tonight? Be nice to the pictures, maybe?
I think I'll just go home and maybe watch TV for a couple of hours. But nah, Aberdeen will be crazy, so it'll be a quiet night in Aberdeen, I'm sure.
Good man, enjoy.
All right, thank you.
Now they're getting down there. Still a whole number of the Aberdeen players out there. Just it's as if they don't want to leave the pitch. A lot of the Aberdeen fans, certainly the ones in the main stand here, still inside as well. The players came across and gave them a good close-up look at the trophy as well. Now eventually they're making their way up the tunnel. Johnny Hayes and Adam Rooney still down there holding the trophy. And of course Adam Rooney, the recent signing, who's been excellent since he's joined the club. And of course it was he who crashed home the penalty that won the shootout. 4-2 on penalties for Aberdeen. Are you circling him, Chick? Are you going to pounce on Adam Rooney with the trophy?
Oh, sorry,
he slipped away from you.
Oh, the pace. I was actually I was directing myself towards Willow Flood.
Well, he's at the end of the tunnel. He's got that trophy up, and he's showing it to the fans as they go up the tunnel as well.
Richard, it's just not every day you see a guy holding an inflatable sheep and an inflatable banana. Well done, Willow. Can a wee quick word with you? Well done, congratulations. It was. How was it for you?
It was all about the result at the end of the day. I didn't think we played that well, but who cares? You know, we brought the cup home, so that's all that matters.
That's exactly that. I just said to a couple of boys, just a wee quiet night in tonight, maybe a night in the pictures or something.
I think we'd be all comatose tonight. That's putting it lightly.
As a football match, not great, but did that matter?
If we didn't care how it ended, we just wanted to make sure we won the game, and thankfully the last penalties were brilliant.
You've been about a bit. This was an incredible sight. The Aberdeen fans out here.
This is an unbelievable. Like, that's why I come to this club. Like, obviously I knew it was a big club, but it's even bigger than I thought.
We part in the dressing room in there. I think we'll go enjoy.
Cheers, thank you.
Right, I've been doing this job for hundreds of years, and my favourite post-match interview in a cup final was when Killie won it, and Chick interviewed Dragoje Lekovic, who I think knew 17 words of English, and he just kept throwing them at Chick in random sequences, but it's just been surpassed by Willow Flood there. I think we'll all be comatose tonight, has got to be the quote.
Did I say that? Did he say it?
That was definitely Willow Flood. It's all just beginning to settle down here. The trophy, the players are up the tunnel. There are still fans sprinkled all around the stadium. Many of them, I think, just taking in what they have just witnessed and the momentous afternoon that it has been for Aberdeen Football Club, who are once again Tom English winners in Scottish football.
Yeah, it's nice to see it, isn't it? I mean, I knew Aberdeen were a big club, but this has opened my eyes as a kind of a foreigner coming into your mad world. This was remarkable today. This was incredible. I mean, when Aberdeen get a sniff of success, the tidal wave of support that is unleashed, I knew it was going to be impressive, but this surpassed anything that I thought. It would almost leave you speechless, actually, to see the power that was coming out of the stands all day. You know, negative energy when they were under the cosh a little bit, positive energy for most of the game, and then utter euphoria and relief for the last 15-20 minutes. It was incredible. I have to take my hat off to Aberdeen. They didn't play particularly well. We know they can play an awful lot better than that. But when the pressure was at their greatest, they were at their coolest. 4 fantastic penalties, emphatic penalties. They scored 4 out of 4. They scored 6 out of 6 penalties against Alloa. 10 straight penalties. That is a small reflection of the giant strides this team have made. They're just, when the pressure is on, they don't buckle anymore. Huge credit to McInnes. Huge credit to the mental strength of his players who dug it out today. You know, a lot of people expected them to maybe win comfortably. Inverness put it up to them, made their life miserable at times, but they found a way to win, and they found a way to win despite getting Johnny Hayes injured in the first few minutes, a very important player, despite losing Peter Pollock during the week, another very important player. They got it done, and as Willow and several others said quite memorably, it doesn't matter how they did it, they did it.
Dodgy, you played with Russell Anderson when he was just a wee boy at Pittodrie, and he's now at the tail end of his career. I think you probably share what I said, the sentiments I expressed earlier about just the wonderful moment for him, and to finally see out his career in that way.
Yeah, it's not over yet. Well,
I shouldn't say he hasn't officially announced his retirement. I'm not suggesting that, but this, he always wanted this. This was so important to him.
Such a nice boy, Russell, and when he came into the team all those years ago, very nervous boy, played right back. I read Brian Irvin's comments during the week when he played his first game. He was a nervous wreck and didn't use the ball very well, but I'll tell you what, nobody deserves it better than him, and with experience he has turned into a top player, a top professional. He drove his team on today. He was probably their biggest threat in terms of goal scoring, hit the post. It would have been nice for him to score as well, but going back to Aberdeen, you know what, it was just about, as Tom said, getting over the winning line. And the mentality of it was the biggest thing for me. And do you know the nicest touch I thought today, and I felt for those Inverness players, because though it was a poor final, it was two teams who gave everything. Derek McInnes didn't even go to his own players first. He went straight to the Inverness players and went round every one of them, because he felt them. He felt for them. I've been lucky enough. I've never lost a final, Rich. I've never had that feeling, but I'll tell you what, I felt for those Inverness boys today. I really did.
Well, it's always it's horrible to lose a final anyway, John, I guess, but it
was also
worse.
Just a nice touch thing you talked about, Billy. There was also a fine moment when Johnny Hayes came out with his arm in a sling. The Inverness backroom staff went over to him and gave him a cuddle when he re-emerged, which I thought was a class act as well. You're absolutely right to indicate that. The madness has started down here as Derek McInnes just sprinted. I never knew that kind of pace from the tunnel where the boys are trying to grab him to put him in the shower. We should be the bath, but there's no baths here anymore.
It's funny, I saw him appear, and immediately, because you just know what football players are like, you just knew that's exactly
schoolboy,
what it was.
That mature stuff, the sensible things he was saying, it's now turned into schoolboy humour, madness stuff, and I'm getting out of here because I've been in dragged into a couple of baths in my time.
You'll be claiming the credit for winning the cup if you do that.
Sorry?
You'll if you get in there and get chucked in.
I'm not against.
You'll be claiming the credit for the tactics and winning the cup.
I'm getting it. I'm going to give Wee McLeod a lemon here to get the smile off his face.
I do just to put I wouldn't say you could not possibly put a dampener on this, but just to put a bit of perspective on it. That foreign penalty, 3 minutes from the end of the match. You got to look at that as well. And Inverness, John Hughes mentioned it in his post-match interview. That the whole narrative of the day could be so much different had that penalty award been given, and it, by all accounts, it was a penalty. It was an absolute nailed-on penalty.
It was. You would have seen the pictures.
No.
John, but trust me, you see it again. Andy Considine's got two arms over the back of him, pull him back, and you could see Richie Foran's face the way he turned round. He knew. I mean, it should have been a penalty kick.
And they scored that match. They scored at that stage. The game's over.
Who's to say they would have scored it?
It's fine lines.
Well, that's true.
It's fine lines, Chick. But from the Inverness perspective, you see, Richie's actually being too honest there, because if he goes down, doesn't go for the header and just goes down, I don't think Steve McLean's got any option other than to give a penalty. But he's so honest that he knows that he can score the header, that he's gone for it, and unfortunately he's knocked it 6 inches over the bar. But if he doesn't get there, if he goes down, it's a stonewall penalty kick, and it could be, as you've rightly said, we could be sitting here with still 7,500 Inverness fans in the game. But it's tough on Inverness, it really is. You feel for them, to put a lot of energy in it. I think the only disappointing aspect was that they didn't attack as well as they normally can with boys like Doran and Ross and Watkins and Vincent and Mackay. That will be the only thing that John Hughes can be disappointed to, because the organisation, the tactics were spot on. They stopped Aberdeen getting the ball at them off the front, and they went forward on the break, just didn't quite have their normal quality that they have in the last third. And as I say, if they had that today, then the game was there for the taking for them, and the longer it went, because as you were up here, Richard, the whole of the Red Army was getting more nervous, and you could sense, and that was the big moment. We all called it early up here, and Chicky saw the pictures. We all thought it was a Stonewall penalty kick, and such are the fine margins of possibly Inverness heading up the A9 the cup. But as I said, it wasn't given, unfortunately, and you're right. We see the potential of the Aberdeen fans here today, and if they do kick on, they can certainly become a force to be reckoned with again. But Inverness have got a lot to be proud of and the run and the way they've conducted themselves in their first ever major cup final.
Yeah, no question about that. They're a club that have attracted an awful lot of positives, an awful lot of praise over the years for the way they've gone about things. Of course, dipped back down out of the top flight, came back, and have come back stronger, absolutely. And it will be painful for them heading back up the road this evening, no question about that. Their first ever major final. They had their occasional chances during the 90s. Certainly there was a big penalty shoot. I know Aberdeen also had a penalty shout in the first half, which didn't seem as clear cut, but I gather our television colleagues, Michael Stewart was adamant it was a definite penalty, the one in the first half where Rooney got a clip. I have to say, we've not seen pictures, but instinct here, it didn't immediately look like one. There weren't many chances. Aberdeen certainly had the better of the chances, the few better chances that were created during the match, but it is they who have come out on top. And now the next couple of months could be very interesting indeed. There is silverware finally once again in that Pittodrie trophy cabinet, Tom. They're battling Motherwell, Cally Thistle for second place. Dundee United might still be outsiders for that, and of course Scottish Cup semi-final against St Johnstone, and that's going to be tough. And Dundee United also, Rangers still in that competition. Albion Rovers will be at that replay tomorrow night. It's going to be very, very interesting from here on out.
Well, it is. Listen, they're going to have a hell of a party for the next couple of days, but then they'll get their feet back on the ground. The job for them is only half done. They would see the job as winning two trophies, or even a third done, finishing second and winning 2 trophies. All of that is perfectly within their capabilities. You'd have to say they're favourites to do all 3 things, and if they do, then it's a spectacular season, isn't it? 2 trophies and second place, and it's a club on the move. You know, it's a club on the move. You see this 40,000 support today, and the power of that 40,000 support. It's a bit chilling, actually, when you think about it. You think about the untapped reach of this club. And we saw it here today, and I suspect they could have sold more tickets for today. This is a fan base that has vast potential, and if they can just kick on and give them a bit more success season on season, Aberdeen will fly.
I have to say that when Cally Thistle had the free kick right at the end of extra time, and they made a mess of it, but the referee said no, there was a problem at the back of the box there, take it again. And just in front of the where the Aberdeen fans started, 40,000 Aberdeen fans all the way around, and just at that moment I thought, if this goes in, those 40,000, what it's going to mean to them, the journey home, the weeks of, well,
it was one of these days where, and they're rare enough in sport, where the possibility of a defeat for Aberdeen was just unthinkable. The horror of losing was just. It was just, you couldn't fathom the reaction to losing again, and the slow retreat to Aberdeen. So in that sense, it doesn't matter that Aberdeen were ordinary on the day. It doesn't matter that they've put the heart sideways in every single one of their fans today, taking things to the wire. They've done it, and they've finally, after 19 years, they've got this trophy after so much agony. They've done it, and for you, is it a little bit surreal? As a dandy, look at you! You're staring into space. You're in dreamland over there.
But I can understand your fear, because I felt it myself, because just looking at it, the expectation because of all those fans, what it means to the club, it was defining, not just for the season, going maybe winning the Scottish Cup and finishing second in the league, defining for probably the next couple of years ahead. And that's how big a game it was. So they had the 40,000, you had the expectation, you had the pressure of winning this. This was about just getting over that winning line, and they did it. It was hard, the mentality was correct, it has been all season, and you feel as if they're on their way. It's a huge pressure lifted off the shoulders of the Aberdeen fans, the players, the club as a whole. It was huge today.
Yeah, it's all been building up, because you've got the average attendances up to been climbing throughout the course of the season, to the point where you're up at figures that the club are are really, really happy with. The fans are turning out there. They've been signing up the players, Robo. They've been getting them on extended deals. A whole host of them now all signed up, and key players as well. And then on the eve of the final, virtually, the manager and his assistant go and extend their contract till 2017. Everything was positive, but it all needed one kind of kick off at the end, didn't it?
It did, yeah, it did. All of those things, a properly run club, all Good news story
Well,
after
I'll tell
good
you what,
news story.
let's go down to a man he's had a bit of stick over the years, to be fair. As I'll be delighted for Stuart Milne, the Aberdeen chairman, to have his moment with Chick right now.
Stuart, I have to say, I turned away, I watched you. I know you had to go and use the facilities just at the full time whistle of extra time. You were nervous. You looked like a man haunted. And when that won in penalty, I've never seen it was like instant plastic surgery. You changed into a young man again.
Well, in fact, I didn't go to the toilet. I had a splitting headache and I swallowed a tablet and it stuck halfway down, so I had to run downstairs and get a glass of water to get it flushed down. But no, fantastic. 19 years, 120 minutes, and then penalties. So
I think we've apologised for that use of industrial language. Penalties, yes.
Penalties, my apologies. I hope there was nobody listening.
I hope there was nobody. I think the whole of Aberdeen and the North East were listening. Apologies to anyone who was offended by that use of extreme emotional language. Stuart, it's a relief for you. You have the years have rolled off you in the time since that final whistle went.
Yeah, no, I think it was just a massive relief for everyone. But what an occasion, to walk out here today. I don't think I've been as emotional in my whole life, seeing 40,000 fans in this fantastic stadium. And they stuck behind the team all the way through. They were definitely the 12th man today.
You've a dog and stick behind you. Someone we know you've had a bit of stick over the years, but you're a man who's put a lot of money into this football club. And the phrase I used when I was interviewing one of the players there was, they seem to have uncorked something today. This is Aberdeen surely on the march now. It's like you've reached like something exploded today.
Yeah, I think so. Although I think it's a progression of what we've been doing all season. No, I think Derek and Tony have done a fantastic job over the course of the season. I think they've got the team really believing themselves now. I think every game they go out to play, they believe it's a game that they can win, and that, to me, that was a great thing today. Probably I was no different from many of the fans there. When it goes to penalties, you just never know which way it was going to go. But they'd done a lot of preparation for the penalties as well, and I think that's just a measure of the whole approach and attitude within the team now.
You've done absolutely right thing in giving this man a new contract, Mr. McInnes.
Yeah, no, I think we've got a special manager at the club, a great management team. Him and Tony, they put together a fantastic backroom staff as well, and I think they're starting to build a team there. It's hopefully going to take us back to the right end of Scottish football and sustain us up there. That's what all the fans here today want to see.
And you might be back in Glasgow for a Scottish Cup final as well.
We've got another tough semi-final as we had against St Johnstone the last time, but again, it's a game I'm sure Derek will have the guys geared up and going out there believing it's winnable. And yeah, it would be fantastic if we end up back here for the final.
Stuart, you've got a huge audience listening to this, Aberdeen fans leaving the stadium and get up the road. Anything you would like to say to them?
Just a massive thank you. No, I don't think anybody at the club believed would have anything like 40,000 fans. When we got through to the final, we thought, yeah, we'll get 25,000 fans there, and maybe we'll push, we'll get it to 30. But 40,000 people coming not just from the northeast of Scotland, but from all over Scotland, and some from a lot further afield than that, to be here today and witness this occasion. No, it's certainly a very, very special moment for me, and I hope it's a very special moment for everyone to see here.
And it's your round. You'd be expensive.
In the mood I'm in at the moment, I might even buy 40,000 people a drink.
Right, we'll record that. Well done, Stuart. Congratulations.
Thanks, Eddie.
51,143 of them here this afternoon or this evening to watch the game. And apologies, Stuart got a wee bit carried away. Some colourful language right at the start of that interview. All the time I've known him, I've never heard him.
See that defining moment I was talking about in pressure? That interview told the full story.
It was the release, wasn't it? The release ball. Yeah. Incredible. And I have to say, as he was talking to Czech, George Ewell, who's the vice chairman, came up and I was just having a quick chat with George. But Stuart's, I think, maybe a bit more emotional. It means a lot to George as well. I know he's been a follower of the club for a long time. He's got involved more recently. But he was talking there, Tom, actually, about building bricks. He's the hard work was put in, last summer, if you like, and building up now towards this. And
getting the players signed up, getting the manager signed up, and that was the kind of validation almost that they required to get that win. But there's a real determination within that club to not let this be the one trophy win in the next 19 years as the previous one was.
Well, it'd be a sin if it was. You know, they have the solid foundations in place now. They have an excellent manager. They have an excellent management team. They have some top class players, some solid citizens, guys who can stand up to the pressure, guys who know what it is about to play for Aberdeen. They know the pressure that comes with it, and they can live with it. And they've shown that today. You know, when you're winning your first trophy for 19 years, I guess it's always, I would imagine it's always the hardest one to win, the first one, because all the baggage and the pressure that comes with it. I'd be surprised if they didn't kick on now. They've got the team to do it. They've got the monkey off the back. That's going to help. And it's just a fantastic news story for a club that have been in the doldrums for so long. Not just not winning trophies, but finishing at the wrong end of the table. Revolving doors in terms of managers. It's ironic, and I suppose reflective of where they've come from, that we are now in the stadium that not long ago Aberdeen walked out of here having lost 9-0 to Celtic. And that seems like 100 years ago, but it wasn't 100 years ago. That team was demoralised, embarrassed. It was a shameful performance that day. And now look at them, same stadium, very, very different scenes.
Yeah, different team, different club, I would say now. Certainly the players have changed, the management has changed since then as well, of course. In fact, a couple of times, because Craig Brown's taken over from Mark McGee, and now Derek McInnes very much at the helm. But there's a different mentality around the place. It does, if you're in and around Pittodrie, and Billy, you know it well. You know, right now it reeks positivity. There's a good attitude, a good approach all the way around it. People are happy at their work, and you know, you can perhaps overplay that at times, but it's got to be part of the overall picture.
Yeah, and defining moments go back to Alloa in the Cup earlier in the season. There's so many, but I know the club like the back of my hand. There are a lot of good people up there, a lot of good friends. John Sharp, the physio, Davy Johnson, secretary, just nice people who have had a lot of hard times, had to try and rally you know, the Aberdeen fans to keep them not interested, but just to keep them happy. They've finally got a reward after all the hard work, but there were so many things that had to be done in key moments, and it was Alloa with the penalties. Today was huge, and it's a momentum building thing. And if they'd lost those two, I think it would have been a huge blow to Aberdeen and where they wanted to go. But they've got over that hurdle, and I'm sure it'll free it up now. And you can't beat it. The open top bus going round the city, the positivity you're talking about, Richard, it's just going to grow and grow now. And the one thing that Derek McInnes will not want is to slip up in that semi-final now in the Scottish Cup and make sure his team finishes second. That's the next obstacle to overcome.
Yeah, semi-final, of course, against St Johnstone at the start of next month. They're in that battle to try to get second place in the Premiership as well, but at least there is now some tangible reward, and that's the pressure off to an extent, John. I mean, it won't lessen Derek McInnes' desire, I know, to go on and achieve further success with the club, but at least he's got something in the locker there.
Yeah, and a bit like the supporters, Derek will want more now, Richard, because with winning trophies comes more expectation, and that's the right way, and it's the right way that an Aberdeen team under Derek McInnes and the stewardship of Stuart Milne should be. You should be wanting to win every year. And what Tom said was right. I was in the Hearts team that won nothing. They'd won nothing for 36 years. We won it at this very stadium, and you kicked on. You had belief that you could do it, and that's the belief. All those Aberdeen fans going up the road tonight will think, yeah, this is just the start. Chick's right, have we uncorked something? Yeah, they probably have, but you have to win that trophy, and they've got over the line against a very, very plucky Inverness team who made it really difficult for them today. And just as we say, fine lines, had they got that penalty kick, it could have been oh so different, and Aberdeen fans would have been distraught tonight. But you can only go on what happens, and in the end, I think 43,000 Aberdeen fans really in. Fantastic turnout. I thought the Inverness fans were great today, and as I say, it gives Inverness a platform to move on from 2, but unfortunately in a cup final there can only be winners, and today it's a red day.
It is indeed a red day. It's a 17th domestic honour for Aberdeen. They've been champions of Scotland on 4 occasions. They've won the Scottish Cup on 7 occasions. They've now won the League Cup on 6 occasions. But it's been a long time in the coming. The competition began, of course, with that penalty shootout victory against Alloa. They've come through it without conceding a single goal along the way. There was bad news ahead of kick-off when Peter Pollitt was ruled out. Johnny Hayes had to go off injured early on, and it turned out to be a very tight game, a real hard struggle for both sides. In the end, it was the Dons who came out on top. Adam Rooney crashing in the penalty for a 4-2 success in the shootout, and it meant that at the end of his, or towards the end of his illustrious Aberdeen career, Russell Anderson finally got silverware. Aberdeen, Scottish League Cup winners 2014. That's it, thanks for listening. Remember to keep right up to date with all the very latest Scottish football news. BBC Radio Scotland 810 medium wave, 92 to 95 FM, online and on digital. And there's always comprehensive coverage at the website bbc.co.uk/sportscotland.
The Scottish Football Podcast from BBC Radio Scotland.